it's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my only review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we start off with Sheree. She's depressed in the house, hasn't gone nowhere because it's been 4 days since she got stood up by Tyrone in Philly. And while she did arrive home, she did receive a call from him, but he said, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" No explanation about what happened. Didn't give her, "Babe, I'm so sorry. Here's what happened. Let me explain." So, since she didn't get what she wanted from the first phone call, she hasn't called him back. And he's called and texted, and she hasn't replied. And her daughter comes in while she's folding up clothes and wanted to know what's going on. And she hasn't left the house. And she is going through things in her mind about, do I want to mend things? Do I want to keep it going? Because she says she doesn't really want to let this relationship go yet because of all the time that she put in. If this isn't the same line that all of Life After Lockup, Love After Lockup episodes be, so much time have been wasted that I don't want to let it go from this one thing, two thing, three thing. I mean, consider the fact that the man that you're now dealing with hasn't taken the time to make you feel better. He's probably still living his life at the halfway house doing whatever he's doing while you're sitting here battling, putting yourself on house arrest as well because you don't want to go nowhere. And I understand why you don't want to go nowhere because she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. But she pretty much wants to give him one more chance. I don't know why, but we're going to move on. Kenya. So, Kenya is meeting up with Drew and just talking about how she hasn't really been getting much sleep because she caught a cold from Brooklyn while she was in school. And how last season, her and Drew really didn't get on the right footing. And now come to find out they actually have a lot in common, especially in their marriages because they both have lost their voice. So hopefully moving forward, they can develop a really good friendship and they can lean on each other and help each other out. So they go over the menu and he's naming off the items. All items sound great. So Kenya wanted one of each. And Drew was like, "You gonna buy this?" She said, "Yeah, for real, you paying? Get all of it. Don't split a check though." Because last season, when Kenya and Drew met up, Kenya was gonna pay for the meal and Drew wanted to split a check. And Kenya was like, "Broke bitches split checks." I was on Kenya's side when it came to that. I'm like, girl, that wasn't even an expensive meal. But anyway, they moved on from that. Started all over again. That was funny that they laughed about it. They can laugh about it now. So obviously, Kenya stayed behind a few more days in New York for Brooklyn to spend some time with her dad. And she ended up spending the night for the first time. And of course, it was nervous. It was a lot. But at the same point in time, I want her to be with her father as much as she can. Because while she is working as a single mother, she tries to fill in the gap of making sure Brooklyn spent enough time with her father. She doesn't want to replace her dad, nor would she ever want to. She wants to make sure her daughter gets everything she's never gotten from her mother, which was love. So she is exhausting every opportunity for Brooklyn to receive parents' love from both parents, which I can commend her for that. I just want Ken to make sure that she's not forcing it. If he's showing interest, let him show interest. If he's not, don't make it easier for him. So after that, they discussed the trip. How did you like it? Was it fun? Yes, it was fun, but she also, Drew also appreciated Kenya for speaking up about how she was feeling when it came to Ralph. Kenya said she didn't want to overstep her boundaries because she didn't believe that Ralph was being considerate of her. And she said, "You're right, I do need to hold him accountable, but I really appreciate you speaking up. I really, really do." And I appreciate Kenya for speaking up. And I said in my last video, I don't think that she owed Ralph an apology because what was said needs to be said. But I do commend Kenya for being grown and accepting what she said and giving an apology. Then she also brings up how I didn't know we were going to bring husbands. Kenya, let it go. You were there. You might have thought it was a joke, but I don't believe everybody else did, and you were single. So we're going to move on from that. Then, of course, we get to the whole sex toy thing. How Kenya wasn't comfortable walking around with vibrating panties and possible buzzing all around the clock if somebody else had the remote. But I can understand that, and that wasn't what she wanted to be on. I get it. So then we get to Sonya about how did you feel about Sonya. She said it kind of caught her off. It kind of came out of left field because I don't understand her problem and I don't think she was able to communicate what her problem was. And Kenya brought up how she did have a conversation with Sonya walking and how Sonya had a problem not understanding what dropping with Drew was and hearing chatter from everybody. Even though Kenya had her opinions, everybody else did. But I still feel like Kenya said what she said, but still is going to develop a friendship with Drew off of what she wants to do. She's not going to be swayed by another thing that's going to make Drew out to be on an island by herself. And pretty much just from that point, Drew said in a nutshell, so she's basing off about how her friendship was off of other people. So she really doesn't have a mind of her own because I don't think she's being loyal. And I agree with that. You're using what everybody else went through and said about Drew to change your mind about moving forward with a friendship with Drew. What is your problem though, Sonya? Because again, Drew never did anything to you. Nothing was done to you. Why are you basing off of how you don't think you can move forward with her based off of somebody else's issues? So then after that, Kenya brought up how she got invited to Sonya's Mommy Nation photo shoot. And Drew also got an invite, but then also got a disinvite because the text message read she don't think it would have been a good time for her to have that conversation at work. This is supposed to be about Sonya's business, so I don't think it'll be a good environment for you to be here based off of how our conversation left off in New York, and we'll meet up at another time. Now, it is sucky, though, that you did invite her, you kept that invitation, but then came into the argument y'all had in New York, you went now disinvite her. But I also feel like I'm not mad that she did because she doesn't want it to be awkward, want it to still be about her business, but what happened later still confuses me from Sonya. So, Drew didn't find it no problem. She understood. She gonna support her. And also before Kenya and Drew left, she wanted to know, can you unblock me, please? Unblock me. So Sonya is prepared for her Mommy Nation photo shoot, which is a blog where it has a lot of support for black moms everywhere. And of course, when she became a mom for the first time, she didn't feel like she had a community. So that's what was created. And they have merchandise and they're preparing for their fall photo shoot collection. So Candy came in. And originally it was supposed to be Candy and Drew. But then Drew got replaced with Candy. No, Drew got replaced with Drew. I'm sorry. Candy got invited, Drew got invited, but what happened, Drew is out, Kenya is in. And she told her that she sent Drew the disinvite. And how she don't think this conversation should be had here on work. So Kenya arrives looking cute and did not get the full memo what's going on. And she said, did you bring any extra clothes, any shoes? She said, why? You're part of the photo shoot. You didn't tell me I was posing. I thought I did. You didn't? No, you didn't. And Candy said, Kenya don't do nothing unless there's a check involved. And I'm not mad at that. You want me to be a part of what you want me to do? Pay me for my time, okay? Obviously, then come to find out more information that they didn't know. This hoodie collection that they have was meant to be a part of their Black Friday sale. And Candy was like, this bitch that put me on Black Friday sale. What do I look like? So they laughed back and forth about how we cheap, but she's cool, she's nice, I like her. And obviously Kenya and Candy stayed because they like Sonya and they would have left without not getting what they were awarded. So the photo shoot went great and they wanted to know, why did you invite us? Why only us? Even though this is supposed to be a mom photo shoot, we do have other moms in the group. So why only invited us? She said she felt most connected to Candy and Kenya. And Kenya asked her, you think anybody else's feelings would have been hurt? And she said maybe, but I figured we have another event coming up that I can give everybody else some more understanding. This event was supposed to be for me to invite the people that I wanted to invite, and I wanted to plan another event so everybody can be included into. So her mom is going to cook some Jamaican food so they can get to know her culture and everything. All Candy want to know is, where is your house? What goes on in your house? What does your house look like? So Sonya's not inviting them to their house. She had a event space because everything that goes on in Sonya's house is still a work in progress. She doesn't have any furniture. She doesn't have anything else. She redid everything, so there's nothing else in her home. So the plan, so after that, she will invite all the girls and will invite Drew so they can have a one-on-one. And Kenya mentioned that I feel like you made her feel some type of way and also how you don't have a mind of your own. And she said, first of all, she don't know me. She can't possibly think that. So Candy wanted to invite her mother. She said yes. And who lived in your home? Her mother, her father, and all of her the nephews and her sister and her husband. And how long they lived together? About 2 months. Oh, that's not bad. And after that, that's when she mentioned Sheree, because Sheree has her family living with her. Also mentioned what happened in Philadelphia with Tyrone. So she told her what happened. How Tyrone left her sitting in that restaurant for hours. He never called. He never showed up. Then we see the photos that they released online on page 6. All of the blogs captured Sheree sitting at a restaurant by herself, all in her lonesome, being stood up by Tyrone, which was embarrassing. So obviously they all know what it feels like to be ghosted. Don't do that, some bullshit. And what do you think happened? Which is why Sonya mentioned that's why she wanted to wait and see what happened. She said she wasn't gonna have sex with him till she shows a commitment. And Candy and Kenya was like, well, yeah. Like, you think there's another woman in the mix? Like, I want to know the explanation. So Candy said the reason why he didn't show up, or how he's going to explain, because he might need to explain where he was, because he might have to explain the woman he's been living with that's giving him some. And it's not far-fetched. I mean, can we look at all of the episodes of Love After Lockup where a woman who spent all of her time making sure that the man was good, paid on his commissary, his books, and when he finally gets out of prison, he doesn't show up in the way that he was promised to do. And he also has a woman on the side that's giving him what he only wants, which is sex. He's not ready for a commitment. He's not ready for forever. He wants to just have sex and live his life. And he's getting that from somebody else. It's not far-fetched. That could be the case. But for why Sheree wants to hold on to it, for what reason, I can't find. So Marlo is preparing for a cheer-up session for Sheree. Marlo brought an in-home shopping experience with Fendi. She has the president of Fendi on speed dial. They show the bat signal of Marlo. Say, come and get some Fendi. I need Fendi. She got all the comfort food for Sheree. Kenya is bringing the sweets. So Marlo called her, wanted to know where she was. Kenya was in bed coughing. She was sick, feeling woozy. Ever since the photo shoot, she wasn't feeling good. And then, of course, Marlo doesn't believe her because I see you sick, but I also see you in makeup. What's going on there? But she said, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm not coming. Okay, so hope you get better. We'll see you later. But Marlo doesn't believe that Kenya was sick because she had makeup on. Okay, so Sonya and her mother go to the grocery store to get some food for the food that she's making. And she tells her all who's invited. She feels like Drew is not really there, because I feel like she thinks I'm not a good friend. I don't have a mind of her own because of the conversation that she had with Kenya. And the first thing that her mother mentioned was, she don't know about the compliments you've had in your life. Okay, well, listen, mommy. I'm not about to shade Sonya for being a 4-time gold medalist, but we're not in the Olympic world right now. We're in a reality show called Real Housewives of Atlanta. And how you're moving in a reality show in a circle of girls, that's how we can pretty much get a feed of your character. To see Sonya move in a way that's funny, to move in a way of trying to distance herself from Drew, to hop onto the next popular person, the next popular girls with more followers, this and that and the third. The fact that she's just hopping from the next person to person to person to distance herself from the girl that she arrived on the show with, that lets us know her character right there. Because it doesn't make any sense. So we're not knocking Sonya being an Olympic gold medalist, but her character while being around a bunch of girls, that's what we're paying attention to. So, and then Sonya's talking about how I've been nice, I haven't said anything, but they keep on coming for me. I'm going to show them the real Sonya. The real Sonya. They don't know me. Sonya, we've already called your card a couple of episodes ago. So bring it out then. Bring it out. So Drew came over to help for Sheree's cheer me up party because Kenya wasn't feeling good. So she enlisted Drew to help her with the stuff. And she brought all the things to make cupcakes. Marlo didn't even know. What I write? Oh yes, and Marlo didn't know about the photo shoot. Because Drew was talking about how she got invited a week ago and then got disinvited a couple of days before. And she felt like, oh, word, I didn't get invited. I figured, I mean, I know I'm not a mom, but I didn't even get an invite. And why she only wanted Kenya? Is it because of the photo shoot? Is it because of the followers? Many more followers than that? Okay, so while Marlo is upset that she didn't get included, Drew also talked about how she got invited to the Jamaican cookout and kind of like, wait a minute, you disinvited me to something that you wanted me to not go, but now you're inviting me back to another place where you want me to go. So Drew said, I don't even know if I should go. I mean, only because, like, it doesn't make any sense. It really don't, because I got confused. I said, first of all, you disinvited her to a photo shoot, and you want to invite her to another event. Sonya, if you wanted to have a conversation with Drew, have a separate one. Don't invite her and have a separate conversation in front of the whole group. It doesn't make any sense. It goes back to what Drew said last episode. We were just in my room having a conversation or hanging out and chilling, and you never said nothing. But when it's presented in front of the girls, you wouldn't have something to say. Do you always need an audience if you want to have a conversation, Sonya? Or can you handle things without having an audience? That's the whole thing I'm trying to understand. And then, like I said, Marlo doesn't believe that she shouldn't have gotten invited or she shouldn't have been excluded. And is it because Kenya and Candy have more followers? And of course, Bravo had to show that Candy and Kenya have more than 1 million followers. So, of course, I think Drew sent Sonya a text message that thanks for coming, but I don't think it's the right time. Based off of what you just invited me to something yesterday. And then Sonya said she's creating more drama. No, she's not. She's catching it for what it is, Sonya. You disinvited her to something and then want to re-invite her to something else. It doesn't make Drew feel invited. It doesn't make Drew feel included. It makes her feel like, am I a joke? What's the problem here? Because I don't do fake. How you going to disinvite me somewhere and invite me another place? It doesn't make any sense. And she said, I'm with Drew. How you going to do that? And then her mom says she don't want none of this. She don't want no problem. Don't let her get under your skin. So obviously, it was nice for Drew to stay and help Marlo prepare for Sheree's cheer me up, even though I haven't gotten on the best foot. But this was nice of Drew to do. So Sheree's in her home looking depressed. Depressed. And then decides to get a napkin, pour about 5 chips on a napkin. Girl, use a plate, use a bowl, a napkin, and her favorite chip is salt and vinegar. I said, this is so depressing and boring. That this whole scene of Sheree walking around in her Fendi pajamas, crying about Tyrone, and all we hear in her confessional is the perfect chip, the perfect amount of salt, the perfect amount of thickness. Oh my God, a chip be too thin when you get that perfect thickness. I said, this is not a Food Network commercial. This is not that. Why are we putting a lot of energy into Sheree talking to us about her favorite chips? Get it. I get it. I have a perfect snack when I'm feeling down as well, but this wasn't the right time for us to hear you say it. So Marlo calls her and say, girl, get your fancy clothes on, come out and come over. Let's go. Get out. So she gets a car service, wears a blindfold. She's complaining about her hair, complaining about what's going on. You're going to tell me? No, just wait until you get there. So they finish up the cupcakes. It got into nighttime really fast. I'm like, how long did you actually stay there, Drew? So they're preparing for everything, and Sonya, Sheree arrives and is trying to rush everything, trying to kick Drew out the house. She feels like a side chick because you keep on rushing me out the back door. We ain't supposed to be here. Go. So she leaves, and then Sheree arrives, and before they walk into her home, they have to reenact their screaming match that they had 10 years ago. And look how far they've come from that to this. So she welcomes her in, has a shopping experiences and a foot massage, and say, fuck Tyrone. So she bought some clothes, but she wondered and maybe thought about, if you're giving me all of this, I figure you'll be gifting me. I didn't think I would be paying out of my own pocket of buying things for myself. So from that point on, it's just kind of like, what else was there? I mean, the clothes she picked up was nice though, but she wanted to be shopped. She wanted to be wined and dined. She wanted to be gifted. So Marlo talks about what's been going on with her, because she can read energy. She's an Aquarius, all that and then some. But other than that, just want to know what's going on with her. Just pretty much saying, just remember who you are. And don't let what happened with Tyrone tear you down and make you forget who you are, because I can still remember you sitting there as a brown Barbie in Philly for a man that left you. She says she's a hopeless romantic and she knows that he loves her. But that's where Marlo wants an understanding. How do you know that? Because what he just did don't show me that he loves you. Has he tried to fix it since then? And how would you feel if your daughter was to tell you what happened to her and she's telling you that she still loves him and she still wants to be with him? What was your reaction? How would you take that? She couldn't get an answer because she wouldn't tolerate that. She couldn't tolerate anybody mistreating her kids. Anybody. So the fact that she can't even give an answer what she would do for her kids, she's wondering, how the hell am I allowing myself getting treated like this? But she said she's not ready to go. She's not ready for the relationship to end yet. So how can you allow this man who left you sitting there alone for hours? I can Google you sitting there alone in a restaurant near a heat lamp, freezing and cold by yourself. What part of you wants to still be in a relationship with this man? And this is pretty much the blueprint of all other ladies of Love After Lockup who dealt with looking stupid and still want to say, I just feel like he loves me. And we're going to try. He's going to work better, be better. We're just going to go through this again. It's like, Sheree, wake up and smell the coffee, girl. You don't deserve this. You don't. So they have a crying moment where she says, love yourself, girl. You're worth more than that. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but wake up and smell the roses. What future can you see with this man when he obviously doesn't want to see it with you? So Sheree says she obviously feel a wake-up moment, how she could not believe she allowed herself to be taken to this place by a man. She definitely felt she was worthless. She felt like she didn't deserve anything. But no, I'm awake. Sheree, I want you to stay awake because, Sheree, you are a gorgeous woman. Gorgeous woman, okay? But why do you feel like the best man in the world is an inmate? Why? Because he didn't have anybody? He can't be thinking about nobody? Do you not know how many men get a whole lot of letters and pen pals? Men be getting girls, okay? But after that, Sanya. So Sanya's getting prepared for her event. She has a musician come in. She has her mom. Everybody's cooking. We see Kenya and Sheree. And Kenya said she had to show up for her, but I'm still too sick. Don't get too close. Sheree wants to have an attitude because at least she showed up for somebody. Sheree, pipe down, okay? So everybody was invited, came in. The only person that was missing was Drew. Drew isn't coming. She didn't want to come. Science, I'm not going to beg her because I figured this was the perfect time for us all to get together. And I can pull her aside and have a conversation, but we're going to move forward. Marla did not know that we were going to be cooking. She thought it was going to be a cooking experience. I was going to watch food get made. I didn't know I was going to be participating. So Sonya has aprons created for them. So they start cutting up the food. They're making curry, brown stew chicken, and this was a contradictory that I noticed that Marlo did when Sonya's mom was cutting up the plantain, and how you gotta figure out how to pick up the right plantain, like tell if it's hard or soft. Marlo makes a sexual joke about a man's penis being hard or soft, and I felt that was inappropriate in front of Sanya's mother because her face didn't look like she was comfortable. And Kenya threw back shade and say, first of all, you date 90-year-old men. And she said, first of all, they get it up and take blue pills. And I wrote, isn't it kind of a contradictory though, Marlo, that you want to get on Candy, how all Candy talks about is sex, 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 but you chose this time when nobody mentioned sex at all to talk about a plantain, how it's hard or soft, and how the men you date take blue pills. That wasn't the right time to bring up that. That was inappropriate as hell. The way that Candy did it was to have fun with adults. I didn't have my mother here and a bunch of strangers listening to you talking about a hard penis or a soft penis. So I was like, Marlo, you can miss me with you all trying to do all this shit. I said, this is a moment where you wanted to be about Kenny does sex too much and you brought up this one wasn't even necessary. Fine. So Kenya wants to know the family dynamic between Sonya and her mother. So she said her mother was supposed to be the cook of the family. She said she was the cook of the family. And basically Sonya wanted to employ her mother to be the main cook. Her mother don't want to do that. I can tell. And how they just redid everything. They just had their kitchen done. She redid the cabinets, the bathrooms. But at the same point in time, I can tell that Sonya doesn't want to dive into more about her family dynamics. She wants them to be just enjoying the moment of understanding and being a part of the Jamaican culture with the food. And of course, we see Kenya in the corner coughing because she's still sick. And Marlo and Sheree wants to question Kenya about why is she coughing. She could have stayed home. You're right, she could have. But at the same point in time, I think that she still wanted to push forward and be obligated to say, I still want to come. I still want to be invited. I still want to show up. Just don't stay too close to me. And then they get to the whole phone conversation about what's said about Tyrone. Marlo wanted to talk about, can I tell Candy what was going on between you and Tyrone? And Ken said she knew about it. Oh, really? Candy knew about it, huh, Kenya? You told Candy about it? I mean, yeah. I wasn't supposed to tell them? I mean, I'm just saying, though. I mean, you told her last time, and she didn't even think to tell me. Candy said, I don't think that it would have been the right time to tell you because I don't think that would have been appropriate. I mean, you want me to call you and say, girl, what happened? I seen you. I don't think you would have been hearing me. I don't think you would have been ready to have a conversation. How you been holed up in your home for 4 days. You didn't want to go nowhere. So why would I want to reach out and call you when you were embarrassed? I wanted to make sure you had your time and your space to be by yourself and you'll talk when you're ready. And I just feel like Sheree wants to place everything on Candy. How Candy knew the information about Tyrone, didn't call her and check on her. Just like how she was mad at Candy for spreading the information about Sheree to other people and didn't tell her about it. I just feel like, Sheree, you cannot pick and choose when you want people to be there for you. And you can't be all about, you didn't even think to help somebody. You didn't even check in on me. Like, I'm just like, Sheree, you cannot get mad about everybody having conversations about you when you've opened up what you're going through. And everybody saw the pictures. The pictures was not a secret. Everybody saw the pictures of you standing at that restaurant next to the heat lamp. Everybody saw it. It was going to happen anyway. But you're mad that nobody called you on it, and you want to still get mad at Candy and Kenya for it? She's upset that I wrote that Sheree is exhausting, and she's trying to pick a fight with Candy for no reason. And she is. So hearing that, Sheree doesn't cry, and I don't like you seeing upset, Kenya said that really hurt me the most, that you were upset. And this is when Sheree wants to get mad at Kenya about, why didn't you be there for me? Why didn't you support me? I did support you. Hell, I was the first person that picked up the phone when you called me. I wanted to pick a flight for you. I want to see if you were good. You said you good. Yeah, but that was phone call. Why didn't you show up in person? I was sick. I told you I was sick, and I didn't want you to get sick, but I was still there for you. So we got Marlo and Sheree coming at Kenya about how she could never show up for Sheree. Newsflash, it was Kenya's idea to talk to Marlo about preparing a cheer-up session for Sheree. She's been there for you this entire time, Sheree. Why are you trying to police her about how she couldn't make it for you for this, but she made it for Sonya for this? Girl, I was sick. And I could not go. I was planning to go. I was in Glam preparing to go, but I got sick. I hit up my doctor. He told me to wait until I got my test results back, so I had to stay home. Like, don't do that to me. I could tell that Kenya was hurt because I felt like, why would you want to do that to me? Like, what more do you want from me? I had to wait till I got my test results. Marlon still wants to question, why were you in Glam though? I already told you why I was in Glam. I was preparing to go, but my doctor said I could not go until I get my test results back. Hello? Oh my God, were you guys not listening? Why are y'all trying to police Kenya for trying to keep y'all asses safe from catching something? And it would have been fucked up if Kenya did not keep up her end of the bargain of being helpful of Sheree's cheer session. She enlisted Drew to drop the stuff off for you, Marlo. It would have been fucked up if she didn't do anything at all. But she did what she could in that moment and explained why she didn't. But it's not enough for y'all to still want to question her about it, which pisses me off. I said, what the hell's wrong with y'all? So Mama Joyce came in and said, hey, y'all stop arguing now. And the girl said she's sorry. What's the problem? And they wanted to know, did you hear back from him? Sheree said no, she blocked him. But I know it's not going to get blocked forever. And it's like, girl, please block him. He ain't going to give you no support. So then they talk about how Candy went through the same thing with her baby daddy about being with men in jail. It is what it is. Takes you on a roller coaster. You think you're over him. You think you're not. You want to try. You don't want to try. And everybody was getting on my nerves. Like, Kenya wasn't there for her. How you been there for me. And even Drew was there for me, and we and her had the most issues, and she was there to be with me. I said, why y'all coming at Kenya like this? And then, of course, Marlon wants to know, why wasn't Drew invited at your photo shoot, but was invited here? I don't think it was cool for you to disinvite her for this, but invite her here, but I still think she should come. So hearing that the only people that got invited to the photo shoot was Kenya and Candy, Marlo made it seem as if that's why Sonya wanted to be with them. Why would you not invite all of us? And Then Marlo wants to talk about how Sheree, Candy, and Marlo have known each other longest, and you decided to invite them and not us. Why didn't you only invite Kenya, and Candy? Marlo really wants to have a problem with Candy, and it's annoying as hell. And how you can connect with Candy for 2 weeks, bitch. I've been able to connect with Candy for the last 50 years, and you growing with so close. I'm not about to do this. And Sonya feels bad that Sheree and Marlo didn't get invited. Newsflash, boo hoo. Boo hoo. You're not gonna get invited everywhere. Boo hoo. Ugh. So Sonya, no, what's the word? I can't find my word. Candy doesn't trust the relationship between Sheree and Marlo. I feel like Marlo really wants to bring Sheree in her bullshit, and she's correct. But Sheree is co-signing on it, which doesn't make it any better. Because this is another opportunity for Sheree to say what she wants to say about Candy for no fucking reason. Okay, let me keep going. So right now, I see Marlo and Sheree just talking shit about Kenya and Candy. Talking about how Sonya's up Candy and Kenya's ass. She hasn't been on track in about 15 years, and she only has 20 people living in her home. And really talking shit about Sonya, right? Because they didn't get invited to her photo shoot. Then Marlo want to talk about how Candy don't do anything. Like, why would you even want to invite her? Is it because of how much followers that she have? Is it because she has much money? Well, Marlon, she has more money than you. And yes, it could be exposure for her being connected to pretty much the most likable and the most popular girls on Housewives of Atlanta, because nobody likes you, Marlo, and people can't stand Sheree. So yes, Kenya are the most likable person to be connected to. Yes. So then Kenya told Sonya, this is the nasty Marlo that I was telling you about. She picked fights with everybody. You didn't, like, look how long it took for her to get to this point, right? And then, of course, Candy felt the same way. How now all of a sudden Sheree and Marlo are best friends. I'm not falling for that bullshit. I'm not. Then, of course, Marlo wants to say how Candy is all about herself. She doesn't give other people. She doesn't help other people. She doesn't be a part of the community to help other people. What the fuck, Marlo? We just got on Candy on Candy and the gang about how she's too giving to people. She gives people so many chances, and we're like, Candy, your heart of gold is admiring, but damn. But then it's kind of like, I love that about Candy. She's giving, she's comforting, she's supportive. She always wants everybody to be great. And she does help the community. She helps out with people in their college tuitions. She helps out with black people getting more jobs. You are all about yourself. You are self-absorbed. And then we see Sheree agreeing. True, she do, true. I said, what the fuck? Good night and goodbye. And I swear to God. And then she called Candy a hoe. She fucked everybody else. Sheree said she did. That she did. And Candy, for no reason, is a hoe. Her pussy miles wasn't good. That's why she dates under her tax bracket. Marlo, you liquidate Geritol's out there life insurance money. And Sheree, your last man is an inmate who doesn't even want to be seen with you in public. He left your ass near a heat lamp in a restaurant in Philly. Y'all hoes don't have no room to talk shit about nobody. And Marlo, and then she goes in on Kenya. How Kenya was Miss USA. Kenya has her more hair care. Bitch, she was a goddamn video hoe. She went through every rapper in America. At least we know how Kenya got her start. How'd you get your start? Wasn't you an escort, Marlo? You can miss me with that shit. Miss me. We knew Kenya was a household name. We knew Kenya was a household name before we knew about your name, Marlo. What the fuck do you do? What do you bring? Sheree, where is your joggers? Y'all can miss me with this shit. Oh my God. It was two cackling hens in this scene talking about two women that they are definitely inferior of and jealous of, which is amazingly crazy to me. I was so confused throughout this entire scene. I said, how did we get from here to here? What did Candy and Kenya do to y'all for y'all to go after them like this? This is some bullshit. Now we know what's going to happen the remainder of the season. Now we know. I said this is complete bullshit. They just ran against Candy and Canyon for no reason, all because they wasn't there for Sheree. This is all because they wasn't there for Sheree? For real? We're giving Sheree this much of, oh my gosh, Sheree needs us. She needs us. Look at her. Bullshit. Where was y'all when y'all was going? Where was y'all for Kenya? Y'all was getting on Kenya and the man that she chose to be with. Y'all still on tied. Like, oh God, I can't. Oh my God. How they narrowed to the time to be there for her. Y'all can miss me. And I wrote in the end, y'all are some fake bitches. And that was the end of the episode. Drew walks in looking cute. Y'all, that's it. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm sorry. It just killed me. It really killed me that y'all really spent this much time talking about two women that y'all say y'all are really, really good friends with, that y'all known the longest, and y'all still took the time. Sheree, are you gonna... This is the second time you've done this to Candy, when this time Candy didn't even do anything to you. Candy didn't do nothing to you. Why are y'all going... Okay, y'all, that's it. Let me calm down. I'm getting upset, but y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next view, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.